Olly, stop it. You're making me forget.
Sorry.
Anyway, what happened was...
Yeah.
I watched the losers all losing their money, so I have to pick which one looks the one it's lost in now. So this rich Arab... Anyway, what happened was in his pocket, I couldn't find any more notes. So I stuck a pan in and I got 350. I went straight to PC World. Laptop, darling. Do you want the bag? I have the bag as well. So the laptop cost me £1.
Blimey.
Very good. Very good.
So I'm smart enough, because I know the collect button. There's 2 buttons on a fruit machine. One is start. Try not to press that too often, but definitely remember how to press the collect button. It does work. It's not out of order. Collect.
We got cut off. We got cut off for a while, and this is a new stream actually. Yeah, we got cut off because apparently those streams only last for 4 hours, and we just did 4 hours. Yeah, that's right.
Oh goodness.
Right, I'm going to say good night now. Good night, Chris.
Good night, darling.
Good night, Lisa.
I'll be asking you for a bag in a minute, Chris. Good night, Beverly.
Good night,
Lisa.
Good night, Graeme. I'm from your part of the world, Graeme. I'm from Ullapool, just up the road from you in Dingwell.
I know.
I know, hi, Jimmy. I know, Jimmy.
Night,
I'm
your
from
mom.
Ullapool.
Good night, Grandma.
How did you
Good night, Grandma.
You look after yourself, Graeme, yeah?
Night. Sorry?
Bye.
I used to spend a lot of time in Inverness. I know it very well.
Aye,
Okay,
that's cool.
then, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Nighty night, Lisa. Catch you again, darling. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
God bless you. Thank you for coming on. She was cool. My word.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
She can tell a good story, that's for sure.
She'll probably come back on when she's got her fags.
Well, I'm not hanging around to wait.
No.
I
You
have
need to sleep.
Well, Graeme, I wanted to ask you a few more questions. I can't remember what it was we were just saying, but I wanted to ask more questions. So.
We were getting into the meat of the sandwich.
We were. You see, these two are just, they're lightweights. I mean, look at Beverly yawning there. It's pathetic.
Excuse me, I've been up since 4:15 this morning.
Oh, she's been at work today, yeah.
How are your clocks generally? You two, Chris and Beverly.
My clock is normal about this time. I go to bed.
No, I know.
And I'm up at 7.
Very late.
I normally
really?
I normally go to bed after 11 if I'm getting up early.
So Beverly needs 8 hours, Kip, and Chris maybe 6.
Chris needs about 4 or 5.
I do about 5 or 6, yeah.
Fine. What about you? What do you do, Graeme?
How many?
He's gone for a cup of tea by sounds of it.
Yeah, he's at the other end of the boat. I'm not sure he's on the boat at the moment. I've got a friend who lives on a boat on the Oxford Canal, and I like seeing him and visiting him. And that community that they've got there on the canal, just off the Thames at the it's lovely. Really, really lovely. It's beautiful. Really nice. But it's cold too.
Yeah.
But Graeme is a summer
I remember it
boat
well.
dweller, he said. Do you? What, did you do that?
I've got Viking blood.
Yeah, you've got that blonde thing going on, Graeme.
Yeah, I have. I've also got Doopy Trends contractors in my hands.
You got what?
You got what?
I've got a condition.
Sandwich.
Sorry. I've got a condition.
Right.
No.
I thought you said a sandwich. Sorry, you've got a condition. Yeah.
I've got a condition known as Doopy Trends syndrome.
What is that? Doopy Trends?
Doopy Trends contractures. Basically, the tendons in your hand.
Your hands close together.
Start to shrink, yeah. And then,
did that make it difficult when you were wanking all that long, when you were a teenager?
That's what it's from.
That's probably what's
karma, mate. Just bloody karma.
Oh,
sorry.
God, here we go.
No, it's quite interesting because I did some research. I knew it only affected Northern European men. So I did a bit more research, and it was discovered by a German doctor called, that was his name, Doopy Trends.
Yeah.
And it was discovered it was isolated to a Scandinavian tribe. Interestingly enough.
And sometimes it just stops, doesn't it?
Yes, it
But
does.
sometimes if it goes worse, you have to have it operated on.
It's basically plaque. It's a plaque build-up on the actual
That's right.
tendon.
Yeah.
And you know, it can
It's a
also
plaque build up on the what?
On the tendons in your hands.
Tendons. Yeah.
On the tendon,
What's
yeah.
what is that, like arthritis? No.
No, it just affects the tendon. Basically shrinks. That's why it's called dupuytren's contracture.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Now, sadly, it also affects the penis.
Oh, so does that stick together as well?
It can affect the penis. But it's got a different name when it affects the penis. It is called Peyronie's disease.
Oh dear.
And basically, it causes your penis to go squint.
To go what?
Squint.
It
What does
causes your
that mean?
penis.
Squint.
Yeah.
It means
Squint.
bent and not straight.
Ah. Well, I thought that was
missed
normal.
Like a banana, mate.
Right. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So that just makes it more interesting, yeah?
It's amazing what you learn on here, Bev.
It is.
Look, we're talking about the BBC. I just want to say, and
Oh,
this
Mike.
is the Silly Billy edition. Yeah. Okay. Silly Billy
just
final
Google
highlight.
Google Peyronie's disease and look at some. Click on the images tab, and you'll see some really bent dicks.
Oh, no, I don't
No,
want to look
thank you. No, thank you.
No, I don't think I'm going to be
Yeah.
attracted to that website.
Liz might have
No.
wanted to, but nah, I don't think we do.
No, thank you.
No, they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah.
They might be.
Nice,
No,
lovely.
thank you.
Well, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, Peyronie's disease. It's called.
Well, young Graham, I'm off.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Ollie, for a super show again.
Yeah.
You're so
of course.
welcome.
And we'll look forward to next Friday night. But I might
Yep.
have to sleep all day to keep up with you.
Yeah, cool. Wicked. Yeah, let's do this. You know, let's do it. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
they're good.
Yeah, it's lovely to be able to do this, isn't it? It's amazing. It's incredible. I mean, I can see Beverly.
Does
Oh,
that
right,
nice
the
wife
stairs.
of yours not mind you staying
I
up
see
all
that
night?
she's moved. The corner cabinet's gone. I noticed when she moved the
No, I've moved, yes.
camera
on
all
the settee,
around the room.
Other settee, should I say.
Good. Nice pictures.
And I've even
on the
got-
stairs. Yeah, lots of stuff going on there, eh?
Can you see? Can you see?
Oh, Jim.
wow.
Oh, Jim.
Oh.
We haven't
My
kept-
granddaughter.
we haven't kept her up with our laughing then.
No, no.
Oh, she's cute.
She sure is.
Just like me. That's not what you told me yesterday.
Oh.
I'm going to have to go, I'm afraid.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, nighty night, guys. Nighty night.
Yeah.
You sleep well. Have a good one.
How do you manage your wife letting you stay up so late?
She's not here tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
That actually is a point, an issue,
Well, yeah,
because
yeah.
these
Will be next week.
believe whatever they are, they are not going to happen very often.
No. Oh, otherwise you'll be having to do it 21 times a day.
Oh, but
Oh, man.
yeah, oh, it's just beautiful, lovely, amazing. I'll tell you, you're mixing Skype with this kind of video mixing thing that sends it up, then streams it to
Yes.
Facebook.
Yeah.
It's
wonderful.
amazing. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Wonderful technology.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
We're
a
so
cool
lucky.
thing.
we're so lucky.
Nice
It's
talking to you, Graham. You tell some good stories.
Yes.
Yes,
Uh,
All very interesting.
I'm going
Night
to say
tonight,
good night.
Chris and Beverly. I'm going to just
Yeah.
shove you off now because you're getting boring.
Okay.
Right. Are you and Graham going to go till 7 o'clock in the morning or what?
Oh, go on.
Graham?
This is when the serious shit really starts happening.
I might go to sleep with my earphones on then.
Oh,
Yeah, let's get serious. I agree.
Oh, no.
I have a bottle of whiskey next to me here,
Oh,
ready to
wow.
go.
oh my goodness.
And yeah, I'm on for that, Graham. If you are, I'm on for at least another 50 minutes. That's for sure.
I hope Graham's on again next week.
Oh,
I've got a slight sleep problem. I sort of come awake about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Oh,
Me too.
Yeah, my favourite shift. I used to work a 3-shift system back in the day. My favourite shift was the back shift.
Right.
what's that?
3 to 11. 3 p.m. till 11 p.m. That was my favourite shift.
Used to be 2 till 10, didn't it? 3 till 11.
That's right. 3 till 11. That's right. That was the way. That was the way it was. In fact,
The shift.
it used to be about 11 a.m. That was when the pub opened until 11, and that was it. It was a 12 hour. No,
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Back in when did that change? 1888 odd, late 80s, that sort of time.
It was a so-called continental system.
Because basically it was better when it was 11 to 11, no? And I mean, yeah.
Because now the young ones don't go out till midnight and stay out till like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's true too.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were 11 till 7, 7 till 3, and 3 till 11. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
I worked with Michelin. That's who I was working for.
I do 8 till 8.
Michelin?
Michelin, yeah.
Not in Burnley.
No, in Aberdeen. They're a huge plant in Aberdeen.
Right, no, because they did used to have one in Burnley. Michelin.
Yes, they did. In fact, that's where we used to send our big bobbins of fretted and fretted wire for the tires.
Yes, yeah.
It used to have Burnley on their labels.
Yes.
The plant in Aberdeen was so big, the engineers used to use little electric cars to get around it.
Really?
Yeah, or bikes with their tool bags. It was absolutely immense.
Yeah. I have been in around Firestone and Dunlop in South Africa, and you actually jump on a tractor that has a trailer behind it. You jump off on, and when it gets to the place you're going to, you jump off. It was going that slow. People used to just jump on and off for the ride, I think. I didn't know where all these people were going, but you used to just meet on there, have a smoke, and jump off again.
That's interesting, yeah.
I was the managing director of a company by the name of Dextralog, who imported the machines that would monitor the pulses on machines.
Right.
So it would be able to tell you how many tires were moulded, or plastic cups were moulded, or bottles of wine that were filled. We had them in BMW, Mercedes, Degama textiles that had about 1,000 looms in. We did very well. So I did go around many companies having a look at these sort of production areas.
Yes. Well, the whole plant, as I said to you, there was a huge plant in Aberdeen, and they didn't make any tires or anything. All they did was they got in drums of steel rod, about as thick as your little finger, and they stretched it through furnaces and through dyes and made it thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, right down till it was like a fine guitar string. And then they would brass plate it in electroplating baths, and then they would cable it up. And then once it was cabled up, between 4 and maybe 24 strands, depending on the type of tire it was designed for, and then it would be fretted. The cable would then be fretted, which made it take a better bite of the rubber compound.
Right.
And that was the finished product. That's all we did, and then it was sent to Burnley.
Where they put them in the moulds?
It must have done. I don't know. I was never down in Burnley. But I remember seeing on all our little tags, little label tags, it used to say Burnley on it. And the guy that made the cable, and the guy that did the fretting, and the guy that did the brass plating, all of their initials were on this little ticket.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I remember Michelin is because in 1976, my father was offered a job at Michelin. they came to give his blood pressure, and he had to do breathing exercises, and he had to do this, that, the other. And they said, "This bugger this, the country's in such a mess, we're going to South Africa," and that's why I do remember it.
Yeah, that's right. We got a really, really in-depth medical. I remember that.
Yes.
They were really really into that. And then when I left, I was only there for, I think I worked there for about 10 months, maybe a year at the most. And when I left, they insisted that I had another medical, and I'd lost about 11 pounds of weight in the time I'd been there. 'Cause it's very hot inside the factory.
Yeah.
Very, very hot.
Well, I think it was the time also, because my father worked in the textile industry for many, many years, and there was a thing called what was it called? There was a disease knocking about in those days. It was called
a lung disease.
It's to do textile. Dust.
Oh God, yeah.
I can't remember the name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't just remember it.
Black
And
spot.
like I said, no, he had to
No.
do breathing tests and
Tuberculosis.
Oh. No.
no. Ah, fuck Christ. It starts with
Yeah.
That's with the what?
Yeah,
Tea.
my boss died of it. What was it called now? Oh God.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry?
It doesn't really matter.
Similar to asbestosis. It was not asbestosis. It was...
Yeah. I know an interesting fact. You know the Michelin Man?
Yes? He's nearly as fat as me.
Yeah, the guy he's meant to be made of tiles.
Yes, I know who Michelin Man was.
Yeah, do you know his right name?
No.
He's actually got a name. His name is Mr. Bibendium.
Mr. Whom?
Mr. Bibendium.
Really?
Yeah,
Who's that?
that's his French name, Mr. Bibendium.
What does that
Oh,
mean?
is that...
I don't know.
Was that his name before he was changed to Michelin?
No. It's Michelin's a French company.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Is it Michelin in French?
I really don't know. I never found that out. I just know that he's called Mr. Bibendium. In our staff magazine, there's a staff magazine. It was called the Bibendium.
Well, Graham, you're full of information that's useful to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know where you keep all this. I really don't.
I'll tell you what, Graham has got more where that came from.
Yeah.
Well, this is what's going to happen now that he's going to get his bottle of whiskey out and have a chat with you because I'm off.
So, Graham.
Nice
Yeah.
talking to you, Graham.
Good.
Lovely to have you.
Yeah.
Okay, the next time I speak to you, I'll tell you what a tringle is.
Oh, thank God. Have you got a book of funny sayings or what?
No, a tringle is part of a tire.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Well-
there's two tringles in every...
Excuse me.
Graham,
Beverly having a
let them
stroke.
go. Let them go, mate. Just go. Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you
Because
go.
you know what?
Guys.
I want to have a chat with Graham on our own.
Okay.
And
Oh,
basically,
that's not, that's not
Night
fair.
night, Ollie. Night
That's
night.
not fair. You've had all night to talk to him and you now want to do it behind our backs.
God bless you.
I don't
God
know.
bless you.
Bye,
Bye,
Graham.
night.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Olly.
Good night.
See you.
Good night, God bless.
Bye, mate.
Bye.
Cheerio.
Bye. That was fun.
Oh, thank God they've gone.
That was fun. Hey, that was a bit manic earlier on with the other woman and everything. Oh, wow. That was all sorts of mad echoes going on and everything. It was wild.
It's just you and me now. It's just you and me, Graham. That's it.
Unless we get a random caller.
Yeah, that's right. You never know. It's a possibility.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not capable of pronouncing words very well now. That's the only thing. However, I am capable of thinking about things that are worth talking about. And so at least I can suggest a topic that then you can elucidate us on, because you seem to be far more capable than me.
I've just I've got a natural curiosity about me, and I've had it since I was a kid, really. And I just need to find. I need to, it's almost an obsession. but I've got to find out how everything works. I'm like that with everything. And society is very complex, and it's very interesting finding out how society really works. And I find that fascinating, and I never stop. I never stop digging and exploring and researching and asking questions, and meeting different people, and making a point and going out of my way to meet people that are involved in different things that you'd never normally meet, and ordinary people wouldn't meet these kind of people if they weren't looking for them, or they would and they wouldn't know, So yeah, that's just I guess it's a hobby. Yeah.
Actually, it sounds more like part of you than just a hobby.
Well, yeah, I guess it's related to curiosity though, because when I was a teenager, I used to love taking stuff.
How much? Did you mention that you were abused earlier?
No, I was never abused. Fortunately, I was never sexually abused. But a guy, there was a guy who made an attempt.
Okay, I'm with you. Sorry, I was just clarifying things there, and also from what Lisa said as well. We had a guy who I just on that point though, we are of our frames of reference, and people do not tend to understand other people for their frames of reference, no? And the frames of reference are so crucial to what we are personally as a personal culture.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
It really complicates things, basically, I suppose is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's all part of the rich tapestry of life, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is. But in terms of the kind of things we've been talking about tonight, it's I mean, a lot of these frames of reference that people have these days, these younger folk, their frames of reference they're just bullshit, really. I mean, they these days at college or whatever, they're being taught more along the lines, they're being given a kind of like what do you know about common purpose?
Common purpose?
Yeah.
Is that anything to do with common law?
No, it isn't. No. Okay.
Common purpose.
You've not heard of common purpose? I'm surprised.
Well, not as a movement or whatever.
No. What it is, common purpose, as I understand it, is it's a bit like a secret doctrine, which is permeated through the civil service and the public services, so that everybody is given this kind of agenda. You were talking earlier in some detail about the agenda to basically confuse us about our sexual identity, and certainly kids and what have you, and talking about this kind of stuff in schools and what have you. Common purpose is one arm, a very important series of tentacles that is pushing this kind of the message you were talking about earlier is being permeated using common purpose, Graeme.
Common purpose.
Common purpose is like a doctrine. Now, I've only just begun to start learning about this thing. It's very, very interesting though, and it does make some sense. And from what I've read, it's an interesting theory. And basically, it is that there's a doctrine, a bit like political correctness is a doctrine which is, over the surface. We see it. Yeah. We're living it. Common purpose is the same sort of thing, except it's under the surface, and it's within the civil service and the public services, throughout nursing, the NHS, throughout schooling, throughout all and it's aim is to push pretty much the message that you were saying earlier. It's the framework for the message. That's common purpose, pretty much. Yeah? Have you not heard of that? I just heard of it recently.
It does kind of ring a sort of vague bell.
I'm surprised.
But
I thought you were much better informed.
No, it's not. I mean, it is a term. It is a term I've heard before. But I don't know what it's about. I don't know what the aims are.
It sounds quite big. Yeah, Graham. We should both look it up more, because I don't know anything about it either, really. But I just heard about it. But it does actually look very, very intriguing. But just saying, carry on.
Common purpose, yeah. I'd say that's something I will certainly look into. Common purpose. Yeah, it's a cliche almost, isn't it? Do you know what I'll do?
Like the BBC.
Indeed, eh?
Oxymoronic. Again.
Okay, I've just Googled common purpose, and I've clicked on the second top, top one looked like an advert. Okay, so it says common purpose, UK leadership development, common purpose. No.
Well, hold on.
See what else it says.
See what I can find here.
Now more than ever, leaders need to think wider, seek out new connections, explore opportunities to collaborate, and inspire others to do things differently and better.
Yeah.
Our program ensures that they do just that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, You're right. It's not really here on the top result, but the doctrine of common purpose, common design, joint enterprise. This is. There are some more interesting references than there are here. I've seen some good ones, but I can't find them at this time of night, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a few listed here. Common purpose Meridian, a flexible and personalized leadership program that deals with real-life leadership issues and insights in larger cities. It's designed for senior leaders who want to improve their ability to lead in any situation. The Streetwise MBA, a program for inclusive leaders to lead diverse teams, serve diverse customers, and work with diverse stakeholders. For more information on the Streetwise MBA program, click here. Common Purpose Navigator, a local program that uses the city as a classroom, taking you behind the scenes and immersing you in real-life challenges faced by leaders from a wide range of sectors. Common Purpose Frontrunner, students connect with real-world leaders and go behind the scenes at local organizations by learning how to lead change in their city. They are more prepared for life after graduation.
Prepared for life. They're more prepared for life after graduation. Does it say that?
Yes.
Incredible. That's just bullshit, isn't it? You know what? Oh, God.
It's flannel, man. It's
Pardon?
Flannel. It's just flannel.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's just flannel. That's all that is. It's kind of like a lot of words meaning very little. It's the kind of thing, if somebody was speaking about it, a lecture or whatever, everybody would just be miles away nodding their head as if they were trying to, pretend they were interested in understanding, but they weren't really, because it's all meaningless drivel, really.
What is? What do you mean?
The whole sort of, the whole wordy way that they're trying to just, push basic everyday concepts and common sense. All you need really to succeed in life is some basic common sense. You've only got to do one thing good in this world to make it. It's not complicated, you know, and you just have to keep working away at that one thing, and you'll make it in life. You don't need someone giving you loads and loads and loads of advice and complex theories about leadership. You're either born a good leader or you're not, you know. And some people, fortunately, some people are just born for it, and they are good leaders, compassionate leaders. But that seems to be what they're targeting with the whole common purpose thing. They lead management, really. It seems to be a management strategy. It seems
what do you
to
mean? To manage us, you mean?
Yes, it seems to be a management strategy, probably rooted in psychology and stuff. That's what it would appear to be.
Yeah.
Maybe a form of control, eh?
Well, it is. I mean, it is entirely a controls construct. You know, yeah, it is. Graeme, I am not sure that we are streaming. Hold on one sec. I think we are. I think we are.
Sure.
But let me just check, because
sure.
The live video finished after 4 hours, and I thought I restarted it, and I'm just checking, but I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Fine. But just a sec. Just curious, really, for technical reasons too, you know. You know, this... Okay. Graeme,
yeah.
Would you come on next Friday? Would you do this again next Friday?
Aye, it's been really cool. It's not, you know, it's been relaxed. It's not been full on. It's been, yeah, it's been great.
Should we do that? We've got one viewer. You know, hold on. We've got some comments here. We've got some comments. We've got, yeah, because I restarted the video and after it broke off after that 4 hours, and since then we've had George Hellis and Aaron Bacon both commenting us, and I'm sorry I didn't earlier. Look, I think we should do this again next Friday. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that sounds great, Ollie. Yeah,
my wife. Ooh. Yeah, I might have to. Yeah. I'm going to work this out. I'm going to try and work this out so that I can do this. And you're in, yeah?
I'm in, yep.
What happened to you earlier, if you can say?
I can't say, Ollie. I worked later than normal. The guy I was working with, he took me back to his house and introduced me to his flatmate, who rolled a big grass spliff. And he said, I mean, honestly, man, I've not smoked anything for a long time. Yeah, I mean a long time. I think it was maybe early last year. I had a toke at a party.
Bit of a DB.
Yeah, and it was I don't know, White Widow or something. It was proper stuff, like, you know, and it just completely. I mean, I only had a few puffs, maybe 7 or 8 draws, maybe 10 at the most, and I was absolutely spangled. And spangled, yeah. And I forgot what day it was, and I was just getting all sorts of random thoughts in my head, and my brain wasn't working as normal. And I was actually on my way to the pub with these guys. Like, oh, let's go down to the pub, you know, we can have a few pints. And I'm like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, shit, I can't do that. I've got a radio show tonight, for goodness sake. And the guy I was working with, he went, oh, yeah, that's right, you spoke about that. Oh, well, okay, I'll take you to your truck. So he gave me a lift back to the truck so I could make the 26-mile journey home.
Off your head. Oh, no.
Yeah, with a fully loaded truck. It was quite surreal.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all allegedly. He's just joking. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is not a normal. That's not a normal thing. That was quite unusual. That doesn't normally happen. I normally. I'm not even really. I don't like going out to the pub after I've been working because I'm usually quite grubby. I like to get home. I mean, I work with trees, for goodness sake. I like to get home and have a bath or a shower and get changed before I start socialising, you know?
Right.
Get on my socialising.
Right.
I can't really get into it when I've just finished work. I can't get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know what? This is a show, actually. I mean, it's not just like a random chat. It is a show. Graeme? Sutherland.
It's a show, man.
Man.
It's a
Friday.
show.
We're here, yeah? We're doing this next Friday, yeah?
We should do this next Friday, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to my wife. Go on.
I think we should. I mean, tonight, don't get me wrong, it was fun. It was all over the place. It was a good laugh. It was really random. It was hilarious at some points. And that's great. You know?
Go on. Sorry. Go on.
Well, I think we should, next Friday, I think we should choose a topic and we should really hammer away at it, you know? We should really open up Pandora's box.
Stick to it.
Yeah.
Do you think we can? Do you think we're capable?
Yes.
On a Friday night? Because I do that in the week. That's what the show normally does. But this is a Friday night, like Billy Bonus. It's a Billy Bonus show. Huh?
Yeah.
Will you come on? It's late. Graeme, it's late, isn't it? Graeme Sutherland. I had Piers Graeme on here. I had Christopher Baxter. I had Beverly Taylor King. I had Elizabeth Higgiris. And I had George Ellis popped on. Didn't last long, that did. No, I'll tell you, we'll try that again. And you, sir, Graeme.
Yeah.
Oh, that's finished. Yeah, it's finished.
Yeah.
Good. I'll finish this show in a sec. But it's officially over now. And this is post-show. Yeah, post-show. So it's all over. It's post-show.
Okay, cool.
Cool. We're still streaming, but it's post-show.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, did you like my suggestion?
I can't remember what it was, mate.
Well, I was just basically saying we should maybe basically pursue.
Yes, but
pursue the subject, you know.
But because I do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and why don't you come on one of those shows because they are what I did with this thing. You remember what I was doing with Revolution Radio, Graeme?
Yeah, sure.
And you came on that show a couple of times, and that show morphed into this show basically because I thought that the battleground, the biggest battle at the moment against this, if you like, NWO, for example, is Brexit, really, seems to me. And so I thought I'd focus on this because also I'm good on, the more political side of things. And here we are, sort of thing. But oh God, what was your question again?
Just about choosing a subject and really explain.
Yes, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked. Yeah, but so that show is on formally, if you like, scheduled. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays, and this was a bonus show, and these bonus shows, and if it's on a Friday night, I mean, it's nice to just have a maybe open forum, no?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah,
but you can come on these shows in the week, Graeme, at any time, and I mean, you can do that anyway. But these Friday, I don't know. I think we need to let our hair down too.
I know, that's right. But no, that'd be great. I'll be part of that. I'd be happy to. Yeah.
Oh man, cool. So yeah, good. Okay, what have you been talking about on Truthcat this last few weeks? What have you been concentrating on?
Okay, well, current discussions include the NATO and the trouble that's developed between Turkey and the USA, and indeed Germany. And in fact, that Germany and France are pushing to get all the sanctions dropped in Russia, the existing sanctions dropped, whilst America's trying to push new sanctions on Russia. And it's causing quite a spat. And it's basically dividing Europe. And it's quite interesting hearing all the different politicians from Greece and Croatia and everything. They're all starting to think that the EU is suffocating them. So yeah, that's been the main thing.
So hold on a sec. You're saying that this is a story basically of the EU trying to sort out Ukraine.
Oh yeah, they've been pushing for that for ages.
Yeah, sure. No, well, that's what the coup was. But okay, so is it still? What is the update on that?
Well, the US put the CIA in there and caused all sorts of unrest, and tried to say the Russians were there was Russian snipers on the roof and everything. Absolute nonsense. It was the CIA trying to stir the pot, and then they put in a neo-Nazi government, a puppet government, a US puppet government, and the Ukrainian people don't want anything to do with them, basically. But then most of them just want to get on with their lives and work and make a pound and feed their families and everything. So they don't want to rock the boat. They're just getting on with stuff. But the government in Ukraine is not legitimate. It's a proxy puppet government.
Why are you concentrating particularly on there? I mean, as opposed to aspects of Syria, just out of interest.
Well, we're not focusing.
Or Turkey, say. I mean, just out of interest. Or I mean, I'm sure you know what's going on with all of them more than I do.
Well, it would appear that the NATO and the EU coalition, all the different member states, all the different countries, they're all becoming very dissatisfied for a whole number of different reasons, including obviously Britain. That's what Brexit's all about. But you've got Germany and France kind of like cozying up together and making all sorts of noises about US interference. I think that's quite interesting. And the former Soviet, the small Baltic states, Latvia, Estonia, and I forget the third one. Bosnia, is it?
Yeah, could be. I'm sorry, I lost you there. I lost you. I was just working something else out, Graham.
The Baltic states, anyway.
Yep.
They're
Bosnia, Croatia, and Bosnia, Croatia, and Serbia.
Serbia, that's the one. Yeah.
But there's there are others now, aren't there? There's about 7 of them, I think now. No.
There are other ones.
Because there's Latvia and others. I don't know. Anyway, go on.
They're becoming dissatisfied. They are not happy with the way.
Why?
Yeah, because their unemployment has risen. Are
they being invited into the EU? I thought they were.
They're in.
They're in. Okay.
They're in. Yeah, they're in.
I don't know. Right.
Okay, they're in, and they're not happy with the way things happened.
We've got what? Okay, we've got 27 member states, is it? States?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
27. How many are these Balkan states then? Because there's several states. They're not just one, are they? They're 3 or 4 or something?
No, that's right. They're all quite small countries. Like, there's only, like, I don't know, 3 to 5 million, between 3 and 5 million people in these countries. In fact, one of them's only got 1.5 million, if I remember right. But basically, they've stood up and said, we are not happy because we've received nothing from the EU, and we've lost hundreds of thousands of people who have just disappeared into Europe looking for work.
Yeah, brain drain.
Yes, so they're not happy. They are not happy.
Brain drain and workforce drain.
Yes,
with an aging population, probably whatever's left.
Yep. So Spain are not happy. Greece are not happy. France and Germany are not happy.
Work. The model just does not work. The EU model just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work at all. And it didn't work back in the day either with the Roman Empire. It just imploded.
Well, it looks as though this will too. I have wondered many times what will happen first. Will we get out, or will the EU implode of its own accord? But either way, I think we're out. Are we not? We're out, Graham. No, I mean it's gonna collapse either way.
Yeah, it's gonna collapse. Yes, and we were the first. We were the first rat to evacuate the sinking ship.
Well,
that's all.
Yeah, we did it in a very British way, I have to say. I think the history will tell us that Britain actually kind of saved Europe from itself. Third time in 150 years, and I reckon if the history is kind and honest, that Britain will be seen as being a guiding light. I really do. More so this time than before. Because before was for political reasons, for geopolitical reasons, for financial, for elitist reasons. Yeah, you know that, Graham. You could talk much more about that than I could. But this time, actually, I think we're doing it for just reasons of democracy, because people have stood up.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't get that before. In World Wars I and II, World War I was about a couple of bloody royal families, wasn't it? Or, a bunch of cousins, and one of them was a bit mad. And World War II was, there was all sorts of corporate stuff going on. We know about Prescott Bush and so on and so forth. But this time, and I'm drawing a parallel here with World Wars I and II, i.e. versus Germany, you could argue. It's not as simple as that. I'm not being as rude and uncouth as that. But against the people that run Germany, yes. That's what you know what I'm saying, Graham, don't you?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. There's what appears to be going on, and what is reported in the press and in the media, and that's what's really going on. There's two different stories. There's a sub story and there's a public story, or in other words, there's an illusion and there's a truth. Basically, there's all sorts of stuff going on behind the scenes that they keep away from the public domain, and they want to keep away from the public domain, and it's basically secret society involvement and control.
We've actually got, I think, I might be wrong, I hope so. Alan, are you watching? If you're watching, please type into the comments now, because I'll get you on the show right now. It'd be awesome. I hope you're there. I'm just looking at the comments here, Graham. We've got one person watching. It might be Piers' mother. I'm hoping it's Alan. It's Alan. It is, isn't it? He's just put Bilderberg. Alan, mate, is that you? Just say, are you there? Oh, what's that? No. What's that? I want a yes. Alan, are you there? Come on the show. I'm not here. Oh, useless.
It's just not
useless.
There. Yeah, it's just not there.
Yeah. Graham?
Yeah.
Good fun tonight.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Why is your line so dicky now? Is it your line? I'm hearing this static.
I'm just hearing a very, very faint kind of bit of white noise in the background. Nothing major. You're quite clear.
Yeah. Alan is there. He's there.
Hiding in the shadows.
Yeah. Useless. What a puff. Come on, Alan. Get on the bloody Skype, man. Get on the Skype. Get on the Skype. You know what? This is great. This is amazing what we can do here. We can pull people in and have a chat and wax lyrical and have a laugh and put the world to rights. It's just incredible. All using Skype and Facebook Live. It's just incredible. I love it. I love this shit. Okay,
it's quite...
I will try, Alan. Right, Alan, what is your bloody Skype ID? I need your ID profile, or you can use mine and connect with me. And I'm Olly Connelly. One word. Olly Connelly. I can't reply to your comment for some reason. Facebook doesn't want me to do that, but I can look for you on Skype. But it will be much easier. I'll tell you what. I have to tell you, Graeme, that Alan is awkward, yeah? He's an awkward son of a bitch. And I like him very much. Because I'm an awkward son of a bitch. But there's lots of them. Because it's a common name. Wait, he says. Okay,
Alan's a very common name.
Alan Ashwood. Well, yeah. No, Ashwood less so. Yeah. My name is Irish. Connelly.
I was just thinking that, actually.
Okay, Alan's coming on. Good. This will be fun. You'll like you and Alan will have a wonderful conversation. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to sitting back and just listening to. He was my guest, Graeme, about 2 weeks ago. This chap has a couple of groups on Facebook which are very popular. He spreads the message that you do, largely, on a more political way, but nonetheless, you guys have a big chunk in the middle of that Venn diagram. And, yeah, so there you go. But you are... he's good value. He's and that's what I'm trying to do with this thing. I mean, obviously this is an exceptional show because it's kind of a Friday night show, but these midweek shows are about, and this too, trying to bridge people together.
Yes, I'm waking people up.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you finding it with Truthcat? I mean, we're on air and all that, but I mean, you're pleased to be doing it, yeah? Because, I mean,
I am pleased to be doing it, Ollie. But I was told to. I did one show that was basically exposing the New Age movement. And the Luciferic side of that, and they weren't very happy. Though, I was told to calm down.
Really?
I was told to calm down and take it easy.
What's wrong with what you did?
Well, there's various guests and indeed several other presenters who are into the whole. Vibrational healing and crystal healing and all this New Age concepts. Yeah. And I mean, it's all stuff I was into 20 years ago. I went through a New Age phase myself, and I read extensively on it, and I was at New Age weekends away and retreats and all this kind of stuff, and I got right into the whole hippy dippy thing. But that was 25 years ago. And it just seems to have hit America now. They seem to be behind us. We've kind of like we've moved through the whole New Age. We're in a post in the UK, certainly in Scotland. You know, the thinking people, you know, the movers and shakers. We've moved past the whole New Age thing. You know, we're in a post-New Age, post-feminist era. Whereas Americans seem to be stuck in this kind of, it's a kind of weird I'm talking about the people that's into the truth movement. It's a kind of hybrid between a kind of veiled paganistic thing.
Well, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. That's a wonderful word. What does that mean? A paganistic? Is that like pagan? No.
Pagan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with you.
Yeah, pagan, which is basically, well, it's all about your earth spirits and, you know, that stuff.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Mother Earth and all this kind of nonsense, you know?
Right. Okay. Jolly good. Yep. Carry on. Yep.
It's not, the point is, it is basically, and has been at odds with Christianity for 6,000 years. They're diametrically opposed. Paganism and the Christians have been diametrically opposed for 6,000 years. And remember, the New World Order, this is important.
For 6,000 years? Hold on a sec. The Christians haven't been around for longer than 2.
Well, no, that's an interesting point. Because Jesus said, before Abraham, I am.
Ah. Did he?
Yes.
They didn't do that bit on Life of Brian.
And also, there's another bit in the Old Testament, in the Torah, that says Jesus Christ was around at the very forming and creation of the planet.
Hold on. Sorry. Repeat that bit. Sorry.
There's a bit in the Old Testament. I could find it if I could Google.
Go on.
But it says Jesus Christ was around at the very formation of the planet.
Well.
So Jesus
must have been hot.
Yeah. Well,
hotter than tonight. Blimey.
Yeah. But no, I think a lot of people think that Jesus didn't exist before he was born in Bethlehem as a child, but he actually did. He existed, and he was mentioned in the Old Testament 3 or 4 times.
Good Lord.
3 or 4 times, and obviously in a prophetic way that, you know, he would be born in the future as a child. And would become a savior, etc., etc. So, no, Jesus existed before the planet. So that goes back, you know, before everything. Before everything. So, yeah. So, anyway, yes, so we've got the New World Order people, the international cabals, the New World Order. They are obsessively antichrist.
Oh,
we've got to keep that in mind.
Can you hear that?
Certainly can.
Yeah. Hold on. Got to do something. Don't know what.
Bit of village.
That's Margaret, I suppose. Oh,
Margaret.
Yeah.
Bit of village.
Lisa. Margaret Elizabeth. Elizabeth Margaret. Same
Just
as my
bring
mum,
her in.
by the way. How do I do it? I might cut us off. Yeah. Might cut us off.
That's Facebook, though.
Oh, no, it's not that. Oh, no, she's gone now. Gone. Oh, that was Alan. Facebook. That was Alan. Okay, return call. Hold on. Okay, I'll return the call. We'll get there. Oh, I need a pee again. I need a pee. Ooh.
A bit of pH.
Alan.
Call. Hold on. Okay, Can this work? I can't get Skype to work at the moment.
Oh, blimey. Oh no, I've got that. Oh no, it's that. Hold on. How do I do that? Yo, Alan, on Facebook, turn off the volume on Facebook. There you go.
Oh no, I've got that. Oh no, that. Hold on.
Yeah.
How do I do that? Alan, on Facebook.
Alan.
Yes. Alan, turn down the volume on Facebook.
Alan. Yes. Alan. Hello.
Yeah.
Graham.
He's probably turned down the master volume.
Because you've got Facebook where you've got, but if you're on Skype, Alan, make sure the Skype volume is just regular. You need to hear using your, oh no, you're on Skype. Oh no, he's on Facebook, so you can't hear. Oh, I don't know. No, you need to turn down the volume on the actual live feed. The live feed. So you've probably got that. You were watching the video. That's what you need to turn down. Okay, call again.
Yeah.
Okay. Call again. I'll call again. Try again. Interesting, but we're using Facebook because Alan doesn't have Skype. Which is very useless, by the way. And it's just failed, Graham. Yeah.
Oh.
So.
You can't get the staff these days.
No. That's right. Alan's problem is that he hasn't had enough whiskey tonight. But, oh, hold on. He's calling. Okay. Oh, it's loading. Oh, Alan.
Is that he hasn't had enough whiskey tonight. Hold on, he's calling. Okay.
That's funny, man.
Oh, it's loading. Oh, Alan. Is that he hasn't had enough whiskey tonight.
Alan, you need to turn down your volume on Facebook.
Keep up on Skype, but down on Facebook.
Because we've got a loop.
You need to turn down your volume on Facebook. I'm not thick. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can. You sound good. And you look quite sexy. Oh, no. Gone.
Oh, man.
Oh. What?
Hmm.
Hold on. I'm going to call him again. He's quite temperamental, yeah?
Yeah. I got 3 numbers in the Euro Millions lottery today.
Hey?
I got 3 numbers in the Euro Millions lottery today.
Good on you, man. What did you win?
£4. Yay! Number 1, number 5, and number 9.
Crazy.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yeah, we can.
Alan.
We can see.
Right, first of all, through all the rules and remarks, Skype decided it was going to update itself, delay 1. Then Skype wouldn't register. I rarely use Skype. I use this thing mostly. I don't drink whiskey, so you can all back down on that. What do you want to know? It's the question I always start my presentations with.
That's nice. I
what
like
do you
that.
want to know?
Yeah.
We want to know the meaning of life.
Okay, good start.
42. Give me a hard one.
42. I don't know about this 42. I think it's a cop-out.
Then you haven't had the right education.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
42 is the answer to life, the universe. The answer to life, the universe, and everything, as left by the most intelligent creatures on the planet, the white mice, after the dolphins left. And it's all known and well written in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Right? 42. It's the only answer.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Oh, if you
I've
don't
never
know
heard
about-
that. I have heard it, but I don't know anything about it.
I'm sorry. I'm talking to people who really haven't had a full life. If you haven't,
Yeah, probably.
if you haven't read or watched the original TV series, not the film that was made later, of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, there's a huge hole in your education. Because while you were at university, I was wasting my life learning all about the Vogon construction ships, and it's great. It's just brilliant. It's the most.
What ships?
It's got a road. Sorry?
What ships?
You wouldn't know this either. The story starts with a man called Ford Prefect discovers that his house is going to be destroyed by the Vogons because a super space highway has been planned, going to go straight through the planet Earth.
That's very careless.
Yes, but the plans were put to the public, but they were in a cupboard at the bottom of the stairs somewhere on a planet that we couldn't possibly reach. The whole...
I hate when they do that.
It's brilliant. It's genius. I actually met the writer and had a couple of beers with him. It's genius.
What's the name of that geezer that wrote that Hitchhiker's Guide? Because he was
Douglas Adams.
Yeah, he was a genius, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. It's it's just a brilliant book. And if you met him, the funny thing is, there's all this outrageous hidden story humour throughout this thing.
What was it that you got from that? What was it that you got from that, Alan? That obviously inspired you. I know that book was big for a lot of people. It's a cult book. I know that, but I never read it, and I never watched the thing on telly, so I'm ignorant. What is the power of that?
He wrote the book because it is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And on the book...
So that was a bit arrogant.
No. You see, you start... On the front cover of the book, which is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it has in great big friendly letters the two words, "Don't panic." And the whole story is written around that.
Yeah, we need not to panic.
You need to read The Hitchhiker's... If you go to your grave without... I mean, I would actually recommend...
I've heard that.
I would actually recommend getting hold of the old original BBC TV series, because it was made on a budget.
Yeah.
Because those are the original characters. There's a robot.
I'll do that, Alan.
There's a robot in it, which to me, the character in the BBC was perfect. But when they put it onto film and they used, what's his name? Rickard, the chap who died last year.
Not Rick Astley.
Actor. Sorry?
Not Rick Astley.
No, a famous Shakespearean actor. Beard. Narrow face.
Richard III. Richard III. They found his
Richard the
bones.
Lionheart.
No. They found his bones last year.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm being rude.
Anyway, they remade it. The humour was still there. The lines were still there. The characters were miscast. That's all I can say. But it was still there. Some brilliant... To give you an idea of the level of humour, the next book was The Restaurant at the End of the Universe.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. That was... What an awesome title.
Yeah, because it wasn't at the far end of the universe. You go to this restaurant to watch the end of the universe.
And what's the difference, you could argue, I suppose?
Well, one's the very perimeter, as far as you can travel in the universe. That's the end of the universe. Yeah. Which, as far as we know, there is none.
But this is like the Matrix, isn't it?
But no, these guys sit down at a table, they have dinner, they have a meal, and they watch the termination of the universe. It's the end of the universe. And meanwhile, their robot, which comes out...
What do they see? What do they see?
You need to read it.
Yeah.
I don't do spoilers. Well, I do spoilers.
It would be a spoiler, wouldn't it? Would be a spoiler. I did read recently. I did read The Day of the Triffids. That's an amazing book. I suppose it's quite different, yeah. That's an amazing book.
Yeah, very, vastly.
Yeah.
There's nothing in science fiction, there is nothing on this planet that is like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There is nothing. The other book he wrote was So Long and Thanks for All the Fish.
And Thanks for All the Fish?
Yeah, I've heard that.
That goes back to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I've never heard of that.
Where the dolphins, who are far more intelligent than us, realised that the planet was going to be destroyed. So they left the planet. And they just said, so long and thanks for all the fish. That was their farewell message.
There must have been a lot of fish.
You would get...
What's going on?
I don't know. He's beeping. You.
Are you there? You're there.
Spanish. I'm still here.
Yeah. Everyone went quiet.
I know.
Alan.
I was just thinking, if the Earth was flat and a trout went over the edge, where would it go?
I said that. I've got a colleague who's actually a stunningly good researcher up in the north of England. And she investigates FEMA camps, chemtrails, vaccines. I've got others in Holland that do the vaccines.
Alan, I'm totally on all that. Carry on. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we're all over that stuff, Alan.
Yeah, well, this lady's even more over it than you are, I promise you.
Yeah,
One
probably.
of the things I will not get involved in is that she's kind of got drawn into this flat Earth thing, and I just say...
That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous, no?
Right,
it's a psyop. Flat Earth is a psyop, no?
Allow people...
It must be.
That's a question. Alan, what do you think?
Well, I know. No, I don't think. I know.
Yeah. It's logical. It's logical, no? From what we know
it doesn't have to be logical. Believe me, I've got a pair of eyes. My eyes work.
So what are you saying? I mean, for example, that's right.
Stop talking, I can tell you.
Go on. Okay.
I was fortunate enough to fly across the Atlantic twice on Concorde.
Yeah. And you see the curvature of the Earth.
I saw the two dawns come up.
Yeah, me too.
The curvature
I agree.
Earth.
Yeah, exactly. It's just absolute nonsense. Why are so many people sold on this flat Earth psyop?
Yeah, with the dome over it, and the spaceships never went anywhere, and there are no...
The firmament.
Why? Why?
I've heard all that crap.
Why? How can anybody go pre-Renaissance?
You can. Well, look, think about it. And this goes for the certain really obscure religions around, that you can always trap some people into believing something. You had suicides in America, mass suicides, in a cult house. People poisoned themselves. I think it was 128 people. Because they latched into this prophet. They believed everything he said, and they killed themselves. And then on a bigger scale, you have religions, which they believe these prophets, they believe these, what's the word I'm looking for?
Imams?
No, the top, the gods.
Right.
These deities. They believe these deities. And in mass, they get drawn into it, and they believe it. You will always, I'm not going to do it, I've got better things to do, but I could tomorrow, if I thought about it, start a religion stroke cult stroke following, and I guarantee you I could persuade some people to draw into it.
Yeah, you're right. Graham, I bet you've got something to say about
that. I know. I honestly think a lot of people that are pretending they believe the whole flat Earth thing, I think a lot of them are employed. I think it's a psyop. I think it's
employed?
Yeah, I think it's
employed.
Yeah, I think they're employed. Yes, they're employed, and I think they're employed by some agencies connected to the CIA in order to hijack the truth movement and make it look really stupid.
Yeah, there might be some value in that, because a lot of people also believe that that the converse of it was created by NASA fictitiously, which is then countered by the very people you're talking about, ridiculing them. It's just confused people. The fortunate thing is that I kind of got a mentality where I don't get drawn off on side subjects now. I've got to focus. You know, when Trump was coming up to the election, I watched it, I read things, I watched debates. I didn't get drawn into it. And the simple reason for that was I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't vote him out, I couldn't vote him in, but I watched it. So having the knowledge is fine.
Me too. I kind of felt similarly.
I won't get diverted. I've got to focus, and that is kicking out the European
You were intrigued, though, yeah? Well, no, it's not being diverted to know what was going on in the States. Sorry, carry on, Alan. Carry on.
Well, it's being diverse in the context that it distracts people. On the European Union, which is my thing, I think like a sniper. The enemy's over there, and as we know, we have people within our own country. But the visible enemy to the public is this blue thing over the ocean in Brussels. So you keep a sniper's gun aimed at that. You keep your focus on that. Every time you look at Trump, or you look at Grenfell Towers and all the rest of it, and you go off and have a debate about it, and you have a cup of tea over it, and you start
distract.
You've taken your eye off the enemy.
Yeah.
In the meantime, they are focused.
That's what the MSM does every day. That is their main agenda.
It's their agenda, isn't it? Not
it's just a smoke screen. It's a tangent.
And this again is like BBC Views because, that's it. I mean, it is not that. It's not just what they report. This is important. Let me just say this, guys, and then I want to hear what you guys want to reply to this. I'm going to make a bit of a thing here. It's not just what they report. More so, it's what they do not report. And also, it's the running order, i.e., the priority of news order. Yeah. Now, this is important, more important for the BBC than it is for, say, ITV or Sky, for the simple reason that the BBC is public service. Yeah. And we are taxed to obtain it, legally. If we don't, we go to prison. So we're basically forced to pay for propaganda. We're forced to pay for a chosen running order, like the priority. Priority may or may not be wrong, and that is subjective, of course, always. Nonetheless, there are some things which clearly... I mean, when was the last time you heard about Fukushima? Yeah? Or how many times did you hear about Fukushima in the last 12 months on the BBC?
Not me.
Oh, whoa, Alan, I'm nearly finished. So, that's the running order. And then it's, what do they not even cover? What do they not even cover? Okay, Alan, take over. God bless you.
Oh, I'd love to. Okay. There's two things going on here, because you said, what don't they talk about? Well, one of my criticisms, chiefly of UKIP, because they were supposed to be on our side, and also of Vote Leave, because they were pretending to be on our side, was it wasn't what they were saying, it was what, for over nearly 3 years, they didn't say.
Yeah.
There was a hell of a lot they didn't say.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. I agree. Go on.
About 150 people into Parliament, and that would have made at least a fighting opposition.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Sorry. Say that. I missed the beginning of that. Sorry. Explain that again.
I don't know. Where did you miss it from?
150 something.
Right. They could have got 100 to 150 seats in Parliament.
Who?
If they'd taxed
the Tories?
No, UKIP.
UKIP? If what?
In the first general election, 2015.
Right. Okay, yeah. The one when they got 3.8 million, yeah?
They could have got a hell of a lot more.
What are you saying? Carry on. Sorry, but I didn't understand what you were saying quite.
Take this back, and I'll point it out because I've done this on Facebook anyway already. I get torn to pieces by kippers. God bless them. I never criticised kippers because there was a chasm between what UKIP were doing and what kippers wanted them to do.
What do you mean? Oh, okay, I'm with you. Carry on. Sorry.
Right, I could sit down with a couple of hours and I could tell you.
I bet you could.
Anyway, getting back to the point we were talking about.
Yeah.
It was your topic, which actually was the MSM.
Yes.
That it wasn't what they tell you, and there's a reason for that I know as well. I can tell you this in a minute. But I took it over to the political parties were doing the same thing. One thing I've said up front to people is that the only politician in the run-up to the referendum who told the truth every single time
was Nigel Farage.
Was Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But then I add the caveat that there were a lot of things he knows that he didn't say, and a lot of things that I know.
Yes, you're right. You're right. So, Alan, what are those things?
Right, you need to go to Britain's United. You need to go to.
No, come on, man.
No, look, I cannot give you 7 years worth of work in the few minutes on the radio.
You can. You have to.
I've been since 2014.
Alan, you do. You can.
Try and
have to. Okay. All right. No, that's fine.
To people who try and stop me in the tracks and say, "Oh, tell me the last 7 years' history." I've got places you can actually find it. By going to, I haven't got a website because I haven't got the time to do that as well. I would ideally like to do that. But
you're very, you know what? I mean, that's just.
Me and a few other people worked out by February 2015 that UKIP were going to get no more than 10 seats in Parliament, and Nigel Farage wasn't going to get into Westminster. At that point, we stopped keeping quiet, and we started exposing the stuff that UKIP was keeping quiet, and Vote Leave would never have mentioned, because Vote Leave was a shill organisation anyway, and it's run by bloody Bilderbergs for staff. Anyway, let's not go diverse too much.
Graham, are you awake?
Yeah. Totally awake, yeah.
Right.
So basically, okay, come on. Have you? Who was making the cup of tea? It wasn't you, was it?
Me, I went off because you were talking. Well, I kept you with me, but I'm not going to sit there and devotedly lick the screen. I just sat. I went off and made a cup of coffee while you were doing your rhetoric. But I listened to it.
Yeah. Graham, what do you think of that? What do you think of that?
To your point, MSM, right? The MSM.
Yeah.
This is really simple when you know it. There were 3 court cases between 1999 and 2001.
Right.
Where people were taken to court by the European Union for speaking against the European Union.
Yes.
And of course, because they went into the very neutral European courts, they lost.
Why, Graham? Just as an aside, sorry, no. As an aside, Alan, can you explain why that's a crime?
Of course not. No, you're making me aside. I'm trying to get a point over.
No, please do. I want you to come back to it, but just as an aside, why is it even a crime to speak out against the EU?
You ask them. They made the law. I didn't. Ask them.
It is law. You're saying it's law.
Right. Now, if you listen.
Okay. All right. For God's sake. God bless you.
So, 1999, 2001, they did these 3 court cases and they won all 3 of them.
Right.
They then decided and passed a law, really on the quiet, but they passed a law. I've actually got this on the floor somewhere. I've got a document on it. Passed a law making criticism of the European Union, its officers or agents, illegal. Right?
Hold on.
This goes on a bit. But
that's pretty screwed up.
That is the state. When you can't criticise the government, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
communist, pretty what you like.
Yeah.
It's fascism, really. But then,
pretty fucking awful.
No, hang on. But that covered
Horrible.
all of Europe. So
Really?
then they decided to. So now,
When was that?
2001. So what happened was, in 2009, they then applied that to the media, to the TV, to the radio, to the newspapers. And
The Express didn't catch
hang
on.
on. No. You look at the Express. I'll explain that. Express
Go on.
headlines.
Yeah.
Now,
Does anyone even read newspapers, though?
I look at. Go on.
Well, why not on TV? I don't care. All media then came under this regulation that it's illegal to directly criticise the European Union. And it actually uses some sort of religious slogan, I can't remember what it is, where you can't speak against your religion. There's a term for it.
Right.
So what they did, they clamped down on all
It's called apostasy.
Apostasy.
There's another one, it's a similar one. Let's not hang up on the word,
Yeah.
it doesn't. So really, 2009, this then got applied to the media. This is prior to the 2010 general election, when our dear, wonderful, lovely David, I'm a liar, look at the length of my nose, Cameron, got elected. And it gradually got tightened and tightened up, to the point now, I've actually got a meme for this. This is what I mean. I simplify everything. That if we hadn't won the referendum, the law would have applied to you and me from April the 1st this year. To the citizens, that
Really?
you cannot criticise the European Union.
From the April the 1st?
Against the law, yes.
When was the referendum? Well, it was last year.
June the 23rd,
last May.
last year.
Yeah. Was it June? June
I actually
23rd?
posted the meme about this long before 2017. I think it's one of my 3 years old or 4 years old or something. And I kept posting it. Of course, nobody really took much notice. But now, people are going, except for the usual biased criticism of the BBC. BBC is controlled by common purpose and all sorts from above anyway.
Okay. Right.
But,
No,
aside from
just
right,
I just want to make a point. Alan, common purpose. We're going to come back to that in just a sec. Carry on, but hold that little bit of what's going on.
Yeah,
because
I know you're pretty switched on to what goes on.
no, well, no, I'm not. And I want to hear about that and from you. But carry on with what you were saying. But we're going to come back to Graham? Yeah?
Yeah, I just want them to get to the point.
Okay. Yeah, get to the point.
Well, I've got ahead. The point is that in 2001 they made a law. Criticism of the European Union, its officers and agents, is illegal. Now, what you remember is a lot of people in our parliament are officers and agents of the European Union. So they're shut up, and they're told to shut everybody up below them. Common purpose. But then in 2009...
What is common purpose?
No, you're going off topic. The man said...
It's not off topic, because that's what permeates the message, no?
And just said to me...
Is that wrong? Is that... Alan, no. Alan, is that wrong? Is it not? Is common purpose not the kind of doctrine that permeates the message?
I'm talking about the censorship that controls the MSM, which is your original subject.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's different.
The Scottish friend said, never got to the point, and it won't if you keep getting distracted.
Basically, the MSM. Yeah, okay, you're right. No, Alan, it is. You're right. It's
in 2009, the editors and owners of the press were contacted.
Yeah.
The heads of the BBC and Channel 4, because they're partners, contacted.
Yeah.
Every channel was approached at the highest possible level with this ruling, except, of course, the one that's not necessary, which is Sky. And why? Because Rupert Murdoch is a top Bilderberg, and he runs Sky, and that's all you need to know, really.
I don't know. Hold on. Graham,
Now,
do you understand that, Graham? Do you understand that?
Pushing it forward.
No, hold on. Whoa, Alan.
Yeah,
Graham, do you understand that? Because I'm lost.
Kind of. I understand that Murdoch's a Bilderberger and various other things.
Alan, what do you mean?
What don't you understand? It's plain English.
Well,
the media has been under European Union laws, and European Union laws overrule English law in the majority, or you have to default to European Union law if there's a dispute between the two. That's the way it is. And European Union law said that the media now must be basically controlled. So they're not allowed to be openly critical of the European Union, right? But you need to continue it down to the third point, which is that same law was going to be applied to us, the citizens, on the 1st of April 2017. Basically, we couldn't have this conversation if it was in any way critical of the European Union. Does that register?
yeah, it does.
And you go gain the response that I've had. Well, I've had offline presentations 6,000 times. I've had online to, I don't know, 50, 60,000 people. The same.
What do you mean? What do you
Because it's
mean?
what I would do. I would go, not sure about that. And some people go, utter bollocks. And other people will say, well, maybe there's something in it. It's those people that are important because they're questioning it.
Yeah, I agree.
The annoying thing is,
I agree with that. Graham, you agree with that, no? We have to be... that is a big key to all of our times, gentlemen, no, is that we are open to the thoughts of other people. And that is something that is so key that people are just not doing.
Right, the way the press, the newspapers kind of get round it, they're a little bit more, some of the papers are a little bit more devious. They can publish articles written by people criticising the European Union. So that tends to be the way some of the information gets out. But I know they run scared because I sent basically 5 articles to the Express because I thought they were got. And
because you thought what?
When I spoke to the guy, he said, oh no, they said they cannot publish this. I said, why? Oh, I don't have the answers for that. Basically, they were, and they would have been, to many people, disbelievable, but to a lot of people, the people who know what's going on, not what they want exposed. And that's what I've been doing for the last...
What do you think is the true deal with the Express?
Right, I'm a bit... I've actually pointed out to people, I'm getting very suspicious of the behaviour of the Express. The funny thing is, I'm actually less suspicious at the moment of the Telegraph, but that's digressing.
Really?
No,
Express. It's not digressing.
But it is.
Well, what is the parallel there?
Ask a question about the Express and
Yeah.
expect an answer about the Telegraph.
I want both.
I don't want that.
Go on, Alan. I'm greedy, mate.
I try to answer the question. That's what I do at my presentations.
Carry on, sir.
I say to them, ask me a question, I answer their question.
I want both.
I'm trying to do the same for you. The Express, I've pointed out to people, be careful of their headlines. They're printing sensationalist headlines.
Yeah.
But often, when you bother to read the article, totally contradicts the headline.
They do put out some good stories too, though, Alan. They do, don't they?
No.
They do. They give me, personally, in my research of what's going on, I would say, because I refresh my news pages, a few times a day, and Express is one of my tabs, and they do keep me informed with what's going on with the latest about Barnier and Davis or whatever.
Wait a minute. You see, you're falling into the fatal trap.
Maybe.
And that is that the European Union has a press department. Will tell
you're
press,
saying then they are controlled opposition.
No, I'm saying they're just censored.
Oh.
We know what controlled opposition is. It's
Okay.
and it's put in to restrict the growth or development of an opposition and keep it contained.
Yes.
No, the press aren't guilty of that. I know there are editors and owners out there who would love to publish some of the stuff, but they daren't. They'll either have their careers ruined. You think about it from the point of newspaper.
You think that you basically are saying that the Express is a psyop?
That paper relies on advertisers.
Yes.
It only needs the censors to contact the advertisers under threat and say, pull your advertising. That paper's in.
That's true. That's true. Nonetheless, their running order, to my eye, in terms of a Brexiteer rag, which is basically what the Express has become, online anyway, I don't look at the paper version, it seems to me it's basically Brexiteer.
Well, it's not. It gave the appearance of such, but it isn't.
Really?
There's a game.
I mean, God, Graham, Graham, what do you think of that?
You remember the Express publishing that?
Alan, hold on. Alan, Graham, what do you think of that? Because that to me, I'm surprised to hear that from Alan. I have to say, I'm surprised to hear from anybody. It seems to me that the Express is a very kind of Brexiteer kind of a rag.
The newspapers, right, is like a subculture now. There's so few people read newspapers. They've been marginalised. And all you've got is some deluded people who still think there might be shreds of truth in a newspaper. There's not. It's a joke. No one reads newspapers. I've not bought a newspaper for 12 years. Any informed person doesn't want to be subjugated to their utter nonsense and their agenda. Yeah. So newspapers have lost all credibility, some worse than others.
More specifically, as Alan was saying, well, Alan, say it.
Well, what am I saying? You said I'm
saying. Well, okay, Graham, Alan said that Express is basically a psyop. That it's just... No. Okay, sorry, okay. Disingenuous. Yeah?
In the run-up to the rest
the Telegraph... Okay, Alan, okay. The Telegraph you mentioned pricked my ears up because that, to me, is a psyop. It's like... Not psyop, that's a strong word, yeah, but... The Telegraph is... It's not a Brexit rag. It's on the fence. It's on the establishment fence. And before the referendum, and I'm struggling because I've had some whiskey, yeah. But before the referendum, the Telegraph was pretty much totally Remain, yeah. And only when it was a bit kind of on the cards did it start softening. And then now, after the referendum, Telegraph is, supposedly pro with the democratic choice. But the fact is, it isn't really. Well, this is my theory. What do you think about what, Alan, you correct me. Tell me, you translate that.
I'm very selective about what I publish if it's sourced from any particular newspaper. I've done a bit of journalism, but it isn't that. It's just common sense. You read something and then you go,
What do you think? What do you think? What papers can we trust in the UK?
No. I agree with your colleague. I don't know his name. I agree
with
him.
Graham.
Darby.
Hey?
Yes.
Can't trust him.
Graham. We can't trust. Yes, we can't trust any of them to tell us the truth.
There's one you can trust. It's called the New European, which I've sabotaged in shops. It's the most disgusting propaganda rag, which you're paying for, by the way. Thank you, gentlemen.
Really?
It's the most disgusting pro-EU propaganda rag
Probably.
you've ever seen.
Makes sense.
It's foul. It's absolutely foul. The Lib Dems put stuff in there, and when it suits them, Labour put something in there. But because they're voices, people go, ooh, they must be telling the truth. He's a politician, and he wears the same rosette as me. This is mindless voting.
Oh.
I say to people a lot we have like group meetings and stuff all around the place. And I just say the problem is that people still vote for the rosette.
Yeah, they
Red
do.
rosette.
The
What
Pepsi
rosette?
challenge, you know, geopolitical
Sorry?
politics. Yeah.
No, they've been
Conditioned.
dumbed down.
Yeah.
It's the only one I knew. Yeah, conditioned. We've all been conditioned. Fortunately, I've always, ever since I was a kid, I've always looked at who the hell's standing in my constituency and looked into him and gone, I'm not even voting for him. And I've voted independent, so I don't vote for him. I'm proud to say that I know I didn't vote Bilderberg in the last general election. I am proud to say that, and I know it.
What about you, Graham? How would you define that?
Well, I think in-depth political discussions are just getting stuck in the matrix. Politics is theatre. Politics is pure theatre. And all you're doing when you're discussing left and right and the different political parties in the UK or right across Europe or in the States, you're talking about actors and you're talking about a play. It's all nonsense.
Yes.
None of them have really got any control. There's people behind the scenes have been there for a long time, really making things happen, and they are not. It's not just about money. That's naive.
You know what, gentlemen, are you not pleased that McCain? I mean, I would have preferred fixed term limits, yeah, but anyway, to kick the cunt out. I mean, yeah.
I cannot affect McCain. I can't affect Trump.
I'm sorry. That's cruel. That's cruel. And I just used the C word, yeah, for the first time on Daily Brexit, and I apologise. But I was talking about John McCain, and I would not wish brain cancer on anybody, and I could tell you some reasons for that. But the fact is that it is so. These guys in the Senate. Now, you guys, I'm going to trigger you. I can feel it. These guys in the Senate, if they were racing drivers, they would be full of sponsorship labels. My God, could you imagine the labels that they would carry? Can you imagine? Yeah. And these folks like McCain and Lindsey Graham is another one. I mean, I wish him on an early fixed term limit. Okay, the trigger, Alan, the trigger is fixed term limits.
No, don't worry about that. The trouble is you've done what everybody does.
What?
You've looked across the Atlantic and started talking about them.
It's the same in the UK.
You forget.
Look at the House of Lords.
You can't, every time I try and speak, you
talk
over me.
No.
The other week. Well,
sorry.
But while you're staring across the Atlantic, you forget about people like George Osborne in the UK.
Doing
Flag
what?
him up.
Yes. Telling people what to think in London.
Yeah, but he's got 6 jobs. How do you manage 6 jobs? He has a bad habit, which we can't talk about.
Yes.
He might be or slanderous.
He was doing Charlie with that.
Well, allegedly. Put the allegedly on quick.
It's fine. There's a picture out there. It's big time. I'll tell you, if he says that'd be great.
Well, do you know what? I published a meme that said George Osborne has left being Chancellor of the Exchequer. Somebody's going to be very disappointed with a can of Coke on it. But that's the way I campaign. I don't faff around. I don't talk around that. Ooh, we mustn't. I was the first British Facebook person to mention the forbidden word, Bilderberg. And I got flack for weeks and weeks. Oh, is this your word of the week?
Yeah, you
look
probably
at Facebook now. Yeah. People have got it. They understand where the Bilderberg fits in.
You're right.
I was the first person to call people in Parliament traitors. Use the word traitor. And people got private messages. Careful, Alan. You've got to be careful. If you keep pussyfooting, nothing will change. If you play the political system, nothing will change. I'm in discussions with some people at the moment that if it goes the way I would hope it would go, is so extremely radical, revolutionary in political circles, but I can't say any more because we've got a gentleman's agreement of confidentiality. However, I digress. But if you'd, I mean, you're new to me. You're a newbie.
I thought you said he was an nymphomaniac.
No, he's a newbie. And fortunately,
maybe both.
Piers, who was on with us the other week,
yes,
he's latched onto one of my sites, and I'm trying to get the others, and he started interacting and participating. Great, but bless his heart, he's a newbie, but I think he's suddenly going, oh my God.
Piers, no, Alan, Piers is not a newbie, I got to tell you that, mate.
No, he's a newbie in my territory,
right?
And my territory is where you find the information.
What do you mean your territory? What do you mean your territory? Oh, whoa, hold on. What? No, Alan. Whoa. What do you mean by your territory?
The social media sites that I have control of, and as I explained to Olly last week before we went on radio, I've got my page, which is pretty much anything I decide to post, whatever it is, you know, politics or anything, basically. But I also started another one, sorry, called Britain's Against the EU. Very pointed, very directed, very specific. It's even got rules in there. Stop talking about somebody in Iraq doing this to this person. I don't post any of that. I sticks on Britain's Against the EU. I've rejected 4,700 people from getting into that group, but it's still got 12,000 plus in it. But then later I thought, well, there's nowhere that people can actually go to for information.
What do you mean?
Because Facebook posts, as you know, are rotating all the time. The news is updating.
Yeah, but they got they can go on your page and look at stuff.
But so I started the page much more recently. It's very, well, it's relatively new. And just off the top of my head, I said, what am I going to call it? Britain's United. Fine. Today, that
Alan.
Hey, let me finish.
Okay.
That page hit 34,500. It's growing at 700 to 1,000 a week because there's people putting in reviews there saying, this is the only place I can find information. Everybody should be here. Great reviews.
Yeah, you're right. I'll tell you what. I'll say that. I will. You know what? Hold on. Alan, shut up. Alan's page, .videos, or whatever. Alan, what's the address?
The address, I don't know. Just go on Facebook and put in Britain's not United Britain.
The videos are awesome. The archive is superb. It really is. And Graham, yeah, it is a good archive, mate. It is. What sort of an archive have you got, Graham? Because my archive is small.
There's a library of stuff about, the New World Order and the Bilderbergers, the Palladian Society, Babylonian gods, royal family, all that kind of stuff.
We need, Alan, my question to you is this. How do we reach out between these, it seems to me, very disparate groups across the political spectrum, and whether it's on the Brexit side, I mean, when you think about it, it's amazing that we are at the stage we're at in terms of Brexit from a pro-Brexiteer point of view. When you think about it, if it wasn't for Farage, and I want your opinion on this particularly, please. If it wasn't for Farage, and if it wasn't for UKIP, we would not be where we are.
Correct.
And
definitely, yeah.
But we could be a lot further on.
So
I don't know.
How? Well,
we could be a lot further on.
What do you mean?
You said that already, but I don't think it makes sense. Nigel Farage was a trailblazer. He got people thinking about stuff they'd never even considered.
You stop looking backwards. I've already conceded that, and I've agreed with it. He's probably the best orator in the political world in the world, right? He is a brilliant speaker. He's very knowledgeable. He's got a very approachable manner with people. There's loads and loads of credit, but stop looking backwards too far, because certain things changed along the route, and I'm quite sad about it.
What do you mean? What sort of things?
No, you're trying to lead me off in a different direction.
No, well,
putting all aside, if everything that was exposable started to be exposed by UKIP, we would be a lot further on down this road, and a lot more people behind us. You know, if the 17,058,42 figure is correct, which I don't think it is anyway.
Yeah.
I have researched papers that says it's bullshit.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What do you think it is, Alan? What do you think that was the true result?
Nearer 72, we've got it at.
Really?
72.
72%.
Yes, voted leave.
What do you think about that?
I think that was probably quite accurate. I know that there was massive fraud going on.
Yes.
I spoke to loads of people.
What do you mean?
Oh, they were cheating. You know, they were obviously didn't want us to leave.
How?
So what's
okay. Yeah, okay. But sorry, I was confused. You don't mean on election night itself? You're talking about the campaign?
Yes. Well, no, it was just
breaches and all that. Extending the election registration date.
The night of the referendum,
yeah,
we videos taken in the counts of people rubbing out the pencils.
Really?
Over and somebody else moving the X.
Now, okay.
We've got evidence of other fraudulent activities all over the country. But if you notice this thing, there's three notable things on here. Scotland, London and Northern Ireland, to varying degrees, apparently voted to remain. Interestingly, certain parts of Scotland, the three cities, and one station in Northern Ireland, and several in London boroughs, used exactly the same computers to vote, not X's on bits of paper, that the Americans used in the run-up to Trump that were found to be not registering a certain vote. So could that be? But more to the point, my group, a little group I belong to, we did a nationwide research. We sent out 30 places in the country and said, go round, straw poll, ask people 3 questions only. Are you going to vote in the referendum? Yes, no. If they said yes, just say, do you plan to vote, leave or remain? And they gave you an answer. The studies that came back from those, Scotland were actually last, but the studies that came back from those, and there were others, showed that the band across the north of England and down the east coast was over 80% to leave. The southwest, which is where I'm mostly resident, was one of the weaker areas. That was something like 69% or so. I'm trying to put these figures together. The stockbroker corridor up the M4 and London was around 64%, the lowest, but you know, that made sense, that made rational sense. Now take my area, it was watched very closely. The vote count was watched like hawks here. I live in a Remain what would have been or should have been a Remain constituency. It's got the Tory chief whip as the MP. He campaigned hard for Remain. We actually did our own campaign. It wasn't even UKIP or Vote Leave. We did our own thing. So I actually expected it to be Remain on the morning. 68% leave in our constituency. When you start zoning down, and then I've talked to the people in Essex, and they did the same. They hawk-eyed their counting station. 63%. North of England, 81%. Do you know there was a poll? There was an open poll done by the ATV.
Hold on, Alan. Take a breath, man. Take a breath.
I
mate.
can talk to you for 7 hours without repeating myself until
Dude, mate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? I need to know. I need to know what is the consensus on this situation. Because,
my consensus is that in real figures, it was between 68 and 74% voted leave. That's the true figure. That's what I honestly, from not just wishful thinking, because that's
Graeme, what do you think about that? Graeme, and tell me, Graeme, also, what is the implication for Scotland? Because it seems to me that Scotland wants to be part of the UK.
Well, it did. It would appear to be.
I'll come back to that.
No, Alan, you can wait. Graeme, carry on.
I'll tell you what. You're diversifying too much. You've gone back to the other referendum now.
What?
Well, no, there's three in this conversation. At least there was. Scotland was. There was a lot of vote rigging went on. I know that for sure.
I'm glad you're on there.
They said 42% said they wanted to leave. It's way higher than that in the real world. I don't know. I don't know how they managed to do it.
How many Scots, Graeme? Graeme, how many Scots do you think want to leave the UK and maybe to join the EU? And I know there's two different percentages there. What do you think about that?
Well, there's a lot of hardcore SNP people just jumped in the bandwagon because Nicola Sturgeon said it was a good idea. They thought, oh yeah, well Nicola said it's a good idea, so we better just follow the sort of party politic,
yeah,
you know.
Sure.
But anybody that's got any kind of announce about them, whether they're Labour or Conservative or indeed UKIP across Scotland, want to leave. They decimated the fishing industry.
Yes.
There's no fisher.
Yes.
There's no fishermen, and all that.
Surely, the
crazy situation.
The recent developments have been really good from the point of view of hope for Scottish fishermen and English fishermen. What Davis said recently about rescinding some, I'm not sure what, rescinding and basically getting rid of the common fisheries policy, the EU thing. Getting rid of that. That's fantastic. That is good news for Scotland. No?
You know that the biggest fishing port.
The bloody spin.
Did you know that the biggest fishing port in the northern hemisphere is in Scotland?
Really?
Yes,
Olly,
it's called
when did you last go
Peterhead.
Go on. Okay, Alan, interject.
Huge.
Quickly, sir, because yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Alan. Yeah, you.
Right.
Oh.
Right. Well, you changed the subject.
But only quickly.
I'll give you an opinion on Scotland, and it ain't going to be popular.
Do it.
Because I went up to Scotland before the Scottish referendum, which was risky. It was terrifying. Actually, the most terrifying presentation.
Oh, come on, get on with it, man.
Get to the point, man.
Goodbye. You're just rude. Goodbye. No, I won't have the. I talk to people. If you ain't listening, I'm not interested.
No, Alan, we've got Graeme here too, yeah. And
yeah, listen, if you're going to grab somebody's attention, you need to talk in like short, sort of 1 minute segments. Yeah. Rambling on and on and on and on like that. Nobody's wanting to listen to that, you know. 33% and 46% divided by 3 equals 46, and 2 and 3 abstained. That's not the way to communicate, man.
Oh.
It's just not.
You know, Graeme.
Tell that to the 72,000 people that I'm in contact with every day. Tell that to the 600,000 people I was reaching before the referendum. Tell them I can't communicate. Tell that I was a senior advertising manager for a massive corporation. Tell that I was a journalist, that I've been president of various organisations. If I can't communicate, you've got it very mixed up. I was the one who bothered to go up to Scotland and talk to the Scots and listen to the Scots. So you can do all your opinion on top of it, Opinion does not beat the truth. And whether you like it or not, the truth remains the truth.
Communication is not just speaking. Communication is keeping your audience interested and engaged.
Yeah, all right. I've done that.
And you can't keep people
presentations around the country. I've never failed at one of them, and it's open audience.
Continually blowing your own trumpet. It gets boring, you know. It's just an ego trip. It's tedious, man. Honest. It just is, you know. Yeah, a real humility in any situation. Real strength is humility.
It's boring to people who don't want to
bragging on what you've done in your life, you know.
Goodbye.
It's not really that cool.
No, you're not cool.
Because it won't.
Whoa. Hold on. Come on.
Oh, man. No, come on, man. Somebody that goes on and on and on about themselves, I've done this and I've done that, and there's a director of this and there's a manager of that, and I've got this. It's fucking boring. It's boring.
Look.
No, it just is, man. What?
Alan. He's gone.
It's just an ego trip, you know? It's an ego trip. There's a lot of that in British politics, though, man. Come on. That's basically what it's about, you know? Oh, I'm the chairman of, you know, whatever, and I was the deputy director of whatever. So you've got to listen to what I say, and I say blah, 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 and then they go on for half an hour talking about themselves again. Oh, man, come on.
You know, I totally agree with you about British politics. It's completely that way.
Have you ever listened to the House of Commons? Just listening to them speaking, you know?
Yeah.
They all start with this self-promotion thing before they even get into the meat of what they're trying to say, you know? And then they usually forget what they're trying to say because they're so busy telling you how wonderful they are and how much they've done in their life and how everybody should respect them because they've made a lot of money.
You've been here all night.
In a corrupt society.
Graeme, you basically joined me. You were late because you were late. Yeah, you were late. But you've been here basically all night and you haven't drunk, have you?
I haven't drunk anything.
No.
No, I've not been drinking, no. I've been on coffee tonight.
You've been on the coffee?
Yeah.
You've had nothing to drink?
Nothing to drink.
What kind of a Scotsman are you?
Well, you know, I don't like just having just 1 or 2 pints. If I'm going to have a drink, I'll have a session, you know, a proper session.
Alan, I think, has just messaged me. He's messaged me, mate. So fighting for our kids' futures is boring. You see, this is the thing we've got. Yeah, we've got this thing going on in this community. I'm afraid to say, actually, as Graeme said, that we have lots of egos, all of us, and we don't reach out or whatever, and you know, and that is the case frequently, despite the fact that we have brilliance between us. We do. It just seems to me, Graeme, carry on. And Graeme, would you mind? I need a pee, man. I need a pee. Could you hold the fort? Can you hold the fort?
Yeah, of course. Do you want me to continue speaking while you're away having a pee?
I'd love that.
No, I was wanting to make an important kind of point. It's a kind of blanket point. And it sort of trumps politics, to be honest. My point trumps politics, and that is our society's problems right across Europe and right across America are profoundly spiritual. We're dealing with a spiritual thing here. We're dealing with New World Order cabals that are essentially top-level Masons, and they're Luciferians, and they're obsessively and vehemently Antichrist. So this is the nub of the problem. We are dealing with it's spiritual warfare. That's what it is. It's spiritual warfare. And you can talk numbers all night long, and you can talk politics all night long. It'll make no difference whatsoever in the spiritual realm. And it is a spiritual problem. And if it wasn't a spiritual problem, and, if there wasn't a spiritual aspect to it, why are the New World Order so obsessively anti-Christ? They're not anti-Buddha. They're not anti-Joseph Smith. They're not anti-Muhammad. They're just anti-Christ. So that's evidence of a clear spiritual dynamic. So you could talk all night and you go round and round in circles, leading up to electing the latest theatre puppets. Are we going to have the red theatre puppets this time or the blue theatre puppets this time? It's all a show. None of it's real. If you think politics is real and it makes any damn difference, you're still stuck in the matrix. Our problems are not bloody political. That's just a theatre show. You're talking about actors in a theatre show. It's meaningless drivel. You be as well discuss the characters in Coronation Street or EastEnders or something. You be as well discuss them because they are just actors in a soap opera. And there's no difference to what you see on TV, the so-called political parties. All of these people meet behind closed doors in Masonic lodges. And they discuss their game plans. Oh, well, we'll say this and then you can say that. And we'll counter it with this, And they're just keeping us busy, keeping us amused. Politics is theatre. It's nothing higher. It's theatre. And anyone that bangs on and on and on about politics is just deluded into thinking that politics makes any damn difference. It doesn't. It's a show. It's not real. It's a show. It's theatre. It's a joke. And anyone talking at length about politics and this could happen and that could happen and this percentage, that percentage, just absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. You may as well discuss Ken Barlow at Coronation Street, and how he had a heart attack and he could have died. It's really interesting how often the Rovers returns change hands. And do you think they'll make a better, do you think this new couple will make a better job of it because he's an alcoholic? Politics is a joke. It's not real. It's a pure theatre. So to discuss it is just to show a level of ignorance to society and the real problems of society. And I know there's thousands of people do it. Of course there is. The same thousands of people go running down to the ballot boxes with their little bits of paper, thinking that they elect a red puppet instead of a blue one, or even a purple one instead of a red one, and there'll be any damn difference. There's not any damn difference. These people are all members of the bloody Actors Guild. Now, there's a fact for you. Why are they all members of the Actors Guild? Because they're puppets. It's not real, man. It's not real. Politics is not real. And it's even more evident and obvious in America than it is in this country. Nevertheless, it's the same cabal that runs the US and the UK. Your politics are a joke. They mean nothing. Theatre, not real.
Wow.
That's the truth about politics.
It is. You're right. You're right.
I know I'm right. And if you challenge a politician, they'll start giving you all these big numbers. Oh, well, 62% said this and 47% said that, and this poll said this.
Distraction.
So, yeah, of course. It's like discussing the audience in a big play, a drama, a stage drama. What did you think of this? What did you think of that? So they're speaking to other deluded people. And this quote in newspapers. Who fucking reads newspapers anymore? Nobody reads newspapers, man. It's an insult to people's intelligence.
Well, who watches the BBC? Because it's the same kind of simile,
Well, absolutely, you know, absolutely. And anybody that's fully awake realizes
people that do that. People do. Most people do.
Well, a lot.
That's why, Graeme, I wanted to use that. When I wanted to do the show originally tonight, which has now been going on for quite a while, 6 hours or something. When I first wanted to do it, I wanted to basically take the 10 o'clock news from the 19th, like Wednesday night, and just show the first bit and comment over it a bit, stop it, and you say, you know, and do that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Tonight, when I could put it up on the screen now, but who cares? I can explain it. Basically, if you go to the website, the iPlayer or whatever, and you try to pull that news broadcast, it's not available. So you cannot see what the BBC was reporting about the BBC on that night. I wanted to comment on that at the top of the show. And it's amazing. It's incredible. I mean, what Lord Hall said, the guy, the DG of the BBC, is absolutely incredible, because he basically said that we review and we, you know, look at these figures on a regular basis. They tried so hard to suppress this report. They tried so hard, and it shows so many things. It shows sexual inequality, it shows racial inequality, but the thing that nobody's talking about, the thing that is just, it is surely, is the fact that we are paying for people to tell us what to think. That is the real story.
I suppose it is. Listen, Ollie, you must have seen a clip. I've seen it 3 or 4 times over the last 4 or 5 years. And someone has taken news clips from the 6 major networks in the USA. You know, I'm talking about CNN, CBN, you know, Fox, and so on. And they have actually, you know, they've split them all up, and they've split them into stories, right? Scripted stories about a particular thing. And they're all saying exactly the same words. You know, I'm not talking about similar words. I'm talking about the same script. So they're reading off of a script. They're telling you complete bullshit, complete lies that have been scripted and fed out to all these different so-called independent networks. Word for word, the same.
Just so PR service.
Yeah, no, that you could do a whole program on that, you know.
Yeah,
because that tells you something. That speaks volumes. So all of our news is scripted. By who? By who? Because these news stations are pretending to be left-leaning, or they're pretending to be right-leaning, or they're pretending... By who? By who? Because these middle of the road.
Go on.
They're pretending to be something. They're pretending to be left, right, or middle. And some of them, well, not, you know, some of them are really good at it.
Macron is the latest example of exactly that. Macroni, like Merkin's puppet, her munch muffin.
Yeah,
I mean, what is the deal with Macron? He is so blah, no?
Yeah, but listen, we've got to take not one step back. We've got to take 5 or 6 steps back and realize that they are all peddling an illusion. The whole left and right paradigm.
Why is he? How did he gain such success in the course of about 18 months? It's amazing.
Because he's a good man bitch down at the Masonic Lodge.
He's a good man bitch.
Yeah, down at the Masonic Lodge.
We're talking. Okay, oh blimey, Graeme. Look, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go, mate. And so are you. We've been doing this. I know. We've been doing this for. This is a marathon. This is an amazing show.
Yeah,
you're
but
on for this next Friday.
Yeah, but listen, do you know what the cool thing is? before that, two women left. You know, our previous guests.
Yeah.
Before they left,
Elizabeth and Beverly.
Yes, we were all over the place. But before they left, we were able to nail the paedophile thing. We got to the meat in the sandwich about the BBC. After dancing around all over the place, got to the meat.
You're right.
We've also managed to get to the meat.
God bless that. Yes.
Yeah. We got to the meat here tonight about politics, party politics.
Yeah.
It's a huge scam. It's a joke. It's not real, and that's more important than 62% of people said this or 41% of people said this in a poll or whatever. It's just all utter nonsense. It's discussing an illusion and how deluded people are to think that actually means something. And that's the big issue here. The New World Order are control of everything, and they're occultists. That's what they are. They're not political. They're spiritual. These people have sold their souls. They're very evil. They're more evil than you can possibly get your head round.
So you're coming on next Friday?
Yeah, I'm so glad we got to that. I'm so glad we got to that point. And
to what point?
To the point of discussing the reality of politics. That it's an illusion.
Yeah,
it's not real. It really isn't real. I know that it's real.
I think, Graham, yeah. I think if we make this a thing, that we do this, I think we could discuss that a lot more.
Oh, definitely. And the fact that the media is all in it.
Yeah.
The media is the mouthpiece of the illusion.
That is the problem. That is exactly the fight I have, really. My biggest bugbear isn't so much even the politicians who are puppets. It's the journalists that report it. It is my biggest bugbear, because I went into that profession as somebody who believed in the importance, the responsibility. And
Olly, who was that journalist that got really angry with me, remember? And because I said that journalists were peddling an agenda in Syria. And remember he said, oh no, that we've got ethics and we,
yes,
this
it was
and that.
Chris Klein. Yes, I remember.
Right.
Yes.
I'd love to come head to head with him again.
I know you would.
I'd love to. No, I really would,
Yeah.
I really would, because he might actually be unaware that he's peddling an agenda. And I honestly believe some of them are so passionate about, what they say and what they believe. I honestly believe they are so sucked into the system, so sucked into the matrix, they actually believe that they're telling the truth.
Yes. I do believe that you are right. I do believe so. And that makes sense, because people believe what they want to believe.
Yes. The illusion is far more palatable than the reality. And the reality is these people behind closed door are killing children.
Yeah. They're
having sex with minors. Nobody wants to speak about that. Nobody wants to face that reality. And yet it keeps rearing its ugly head, and it's like, oh, it's just a few, it's just a few mad people, or whatever. Oh, it's just a random paedophile. Oh, it's a random paedophile ring. People don't want...
Graham, this is a light show. Friday night.
It's a Pandora's box, and a lot of people
You're
don't
right.
like
You're so
to
right.
think.
You're so right. I think we have a good mix here. I like this. I really like this. Would you like to do this on Friday nights?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Me too. My wife, on the other hand, may say different, because apparently I shout. And yes, but
sometimes you need to go, because everybody's talking over each other and stuff. It was interesting that guy Clive, whatever, the journalist guy from. Remember, he said he'd been embedded with the troops in Syria.
He was in Iraq, I think. Yeah.
Sorry, Iraq it was. Yeah. Do you remember when he came on? He went on a mad rant, a monologue. It went on for about 17.5 minutes, telling us about how high profile he was, and how high his qualifications were in journalism, and how high his credibility was and everything. And he kept repeating it over and over again. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Oh man, it was nauseating, and he just kept saying the same stuff over and over again.
Graham, I love your being so down to earth, mate. I do.
But you remember when anyone else tried to make a point, he just talked over the top of them.
You know what? It was Bertrand Russell, wasn't it? That philosopher. I said this the other day. He said that the problem in this world is it's full of people that think they know everything. And only a few folks are wise enough to realise that they probably don't.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know this, whenever you see that kind of ego thing coming in, and you see it often. It
just stops the conversation.
Well, it does, and you think, oh no, here we go. We're going to get a bloody sales talk about, how wonderful they are. Anybody that's been a real achiever, a super achiever or whatever in this world, has humility.
Yeah.
They've always got humility. Anyone that's really done anything, they've got humility, and you've got to prize out of them.
I'm not sure about that, Greg. I'm not sure.
The best achievements are because real strength is humility.
Yeah, I agree with that.
True strength is humility.
Depends on your definition of achievement, I suppose. I mean, some people have terrible ideas on what achievement.
If true strength is humility, right? Most people, if you get down to that and say to people, "Do you believe that true strength is humility?" Most people will say, "Yes, I believe it is." So, what's the opposite of that? What's the opposite of humility? The opposite of humility is pride and ego, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So, by definition, that's weakness. You don't need to sell yourself to people in order to sell your ideals.
Where do you get your strength from, Greg? Where do you get your strength from to be as keen as you are at this time of night on a Saturday morning?
I've just, like I said to you, I just feel like a child on a beach turning stones over. Obviously more stones than a lot of other people. And I've found some interesting stuff. And that goes for the political / spiritual spectrum as well. I realised quite a number of years ago that politics is theatre. I realised that quite some time ago, and politicians are just actors.
Yeah, I agree with you. Not all of them, though. Okay, let me ask you a question. A specific guy, Jacob Rees-Mogg, what do you think of him?
Oh, wow. He's got a real presence about him, isn't he?
He does.
He's got a real presence about him.
Is he genuine, or is he?
Well, this is a thing. This is a really interesting point, Ollie, because some of them actually really truthfully and honestly and passionately believe that the political structure they are part of, or even representing, is real. Now, I actually believe some of them do. Some of them do actually believe it's real. And, what they're selling could be, potentially make real change in the world and everything. But I think the majority of them meet in Masonic lodges and decide on scripts. And the fact, as I said earlier on, this is a very relevant fact. The fact that we know the media's scripted. Who is it scripted by?
Yeah.
Who's scripting all this, independent media. Who's doing that?
Yeah.
And who's telling the politicians what to say? Because they always seem to say the same stuff. There's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. If you put on some old YouTube videos about Harold Wilson or Edward Heath or Harold Macmillan, or you can go right, you can go right back to Lloyd George if you want. They still say the same stuff.
Pretty much.
They're all saying the same stuff. They even still use the old cliches, So it's quite obvious that they are serving
Graeme.
More than what they're claiming to serve, There's secret societies here, for sure.
Okay, right. Exactly. Graeme.
Yeah.
There. Graeme. Secret societies. That is it. Next Friday? Yep. Next Friday? Unless there's some big story that, like, the BBC thing was quite big this week. Otherwise, secret societies. Next Friday. That is the theme. What do you reckon?
Yes, and they've got, it's not vague. A lot of people think it's vague and it's sort of slightly mysterious and everything. Oh, it's not. They've got particular gods that they kneel down.
He's triggered.
And sacrifice to. And one of them in particular, and indeed the Bilderbergers venerate, is Molech.
Hold on. Whoa, Graeme.
Yeah, the owl god.
Graeme.
Yeah.
Next week, we continue.
Okay.
You know what? It is where I am. It is 5:26.
It's stupid o'clock.
Yeah. And I need to eat yesterday's breakfast.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm quite hungry. I do need to eat. I've got some great stuff, though. I went shopping earlier. I got some good stuff.
At this time of night, before bedtime, I usually just have cereal for quickness.
I'm okay. My clock is, this is late dinner time, but nonetheless, it's not too extreme. But in terms of So, Graeme, next week, secret societies is the theme.
Yes. That'll be interesting. I've got a wealth of information in secret societies.
I know you do. And Piers, too, is into that.
Yeah, I've got 6 or 7 shows. 6 or 7 2-hour shows just spoke about secret societies.
That's great.
And, don't make any mistake about it. They are the ones, are the real movers and shakers in our world, in our political world.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what worries me, really. I mean, okay. Next week we'll do that. So what are you doing this weekend? You?
I might do a bit of work tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. Because I'm kind of late getting to bed. Yeah. I kind of feel I might have to go on a mercy mission. A girl that I know, who's a kind of almost family, her husband's been cheating on her, and he's just left her, and said he's going to pursue half of it. She comes from a rich family. Her father lives in a castle, and her husband, just revealed to be having a 3-year affair with her friend. And she is utterly devastated.
Yeah,
close to. Well, she's speaking about topping herself and all sorts,
Oh no.
So I think I might go. I think I might go and keep an eye on her.
Oh yeah, do, Graeme.
Yeah, I think I might do that. I feel.
That's not cool. No, that's not cool. Hearing that, saying things like that. That's not cool.
It's not cool at all. And you know what's particularly not cool about this one? Her husband's lover has a son, and the son is 14 or 15. And he picked up, they were sleeping together, right? So this is his mother sleeping with a strange man. So he got up in the middle of the night and he got the guy's phone, his smartphone, and he found hundreds and hundreds of basically porno pictures between the two of them. You know, they've been having phone sex, basically.
Right.
And the kid, I think he's maybe 15, he is just, well, he can't handle it, you know, it's just blown his mind. So it's that going on as well, you know, and it's made a real mess, this has.
Oh, man.
A real mess. Yeah, so I think I might go and, you know, just speak to her, try and get her mind off of things. And
yeah.
When you're stuck in the middle of that, you think, you know, you're never going to get better. It's never going to go away. You know, the pain's never going to subside. And, you know, you're trapped there for the rest of your life. And, you know, it's just human emotions, eh?
Yeah.
But, I've been broken-hearted myself at least twice, so I can relate to it. You know, I've had a partner cheat on me twice in my life. And that's horrible. There's nothing quite... It's worse than bereavement, I would say. Somebody cheating on you right under your nose, I would say, was more painful emotionally and scarring than bereavement, because you can't help bereavement, you know? It's sad as anything, but...
Yeah. What you say makes sense. What you say makes sense.
Yeah. A broken heart because someone's cheated on you is, well...
I had that once. Too.
Horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, not nice at all. It was horrid. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was worse than bereavement. You're right.
Yeah, it knocks you right off your rails. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't think, and you just keep obsessing about it. And it just goes round and round and round, you know, and you get absolutely nowhere. You're like a hamster in a wheel. Yeah. Anyway, so that's probably what I'll be. That's probably what I'll be doing tomorrow, and I'll maybe just help her do some odds and ends about her house and garden or something, you know.
So, Graham, next Friday, same time.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes.
And having there you go. Why do you not have any whiskey with you?
I can normally do, but I'm going through I'm eating fruit just now.
You know what? I have to say, I'm disappointed because you are Scottish.
I am. I've got a kilt in the cupboard.
If you wore that, it would maybe... Why? You're peculiar.
Yeah, no, I do like a whiskey. I like a malt whiskey.
Yes.
But yes, and I do enjoy it. Yeah, but I won't sit down and have one or two. If I'm going to have a drink, I'll have a proper session. You know.
You'll drink the bottle, and maybe
probably
1.5.
Yeah, probably drink a whole bottle. Yeah, and wash it down with a few beers. Over the space of a whole evening, like.
I had 40% of a bottle tonight. By the looks of it. Plus, half a bottle of wine, well, a quarter of a bottle of wine, and a beer, a very nice beer, which was some sort of Belgian thing, 6.5%.
Oh, nice. What kind of whiskey was it, Ollie?
Oh, it was a Hotebe. It's a J&B, yeah, J&B, so it was a mix. But J&B, as the mixes go, I would say, it's a good brand. J&B.
It's a good blend, yeah.
Good blend, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good blend. Some of them are a bit fiery.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Give you terrible heartburn.
I do. I mean, my word, I'm cheap, yeah. I was being cheap when I bought this. I like, of course, like you, I like a malt. And yes. I like both Olly and Glenrothes. I like both. I like them both very much.
Yeah,
I love them. I adore them. Actually, I would worship them.
I love all the Olly malts.
And the Glenrothes, though. No, I mean, I love that sweet stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
They're
do
so
I.
different. They're so different.
So different in character and yet made with the same ingredients. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
But it's peat, no? That's the thing. The Islay malts, they seep the water seeps through peat, and it's very dense
right.
peat. That's the difference, no?
Yes, and in some cases they use peat to fire up the stills.
Oh, really?
Yes, they use actually in order to heat the
so it smokes
mash. Yes, you get a smoky flavour.
Yeah.
And some of the island ones as well. Some of the island and some of the west coast distilleries actually use seaweed.
Really?
Yeah, they burn seaweed, dried seaweed.
That's very traditional, eh?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they just keep doing it because they've always done it. And they go and gather the seaweed and they dry it out.
What distilleries do that?
Oh gosh, I would need to Google that.
I mean, if I went to Skye, it would be Talisker, for example. But that's one of the little islands, the Outer Hebrides, no, or something.
Oh, it's beautiful. I really like a Jura as well. Jura's a beautiful whiskey.
Where is Jura? Where is Jura? That's an Outer Hebride, no?
No, Jura is a long, skinny island that runs up alongside Skye.
Okay, I'm with you. It's to the west of Skye.
No, it's actually to the east of Skye, between
really?
Skye and between Skye and the mainland.
Okay,
that's what it is. Oh no, wait a second. Wait a second. No, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. What I'm talking about is Rassie.
Rassie.
That's Rassie. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting Rassie and Jura mixed up. Sorry, I just had a momentary lapse of reason there.
How much do you, out of interest, how well do you know your country, those islands? Like, how far out have you gone? Have you been out as far as the Faroes or the?
No, I've been to Shetland, but that was a long time ago.
Where is Shetland then? That's halfway between the Highlands and Faroes.
That's the most northerly point of the United Kingdom, the Shetland Islands.
No, the Faroes are higher, no?
The Faroes are, but wait a minute, are the Faroes actually British? I don't know if they are.
Yeah, they are. But they're halfway between us and Norway.
Oh, I thought the Faroes were Danish.
No, are they? No, but they have very Danish culture. They have a cross culture.
Yeah. The Shetland people had a referendum to divorce themselves from Scotland.
Did they?
Yes. They wanted independence.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's quite a strong movement there.
They don't want that, do they?
Well, there's a lot of Viking blood there, you see.
I'll tell you what, I do know, I think I'm right in saying, in the referendum and the recent election, they showed themselves as being very pro-UK and very anti-EU, in my opinion, from the kind of turnout.
Well, I think they're disgusted with the fact that there's tons and tons and tons and tons of fish, dead fish, getting dumped.
Being thrown back.
Yeah, there was a whole load of dead fish washed up in Shetland. And they weren't sure of the,
Why is that? Is that it being thrown out or what?
Yes, they're complying with EEC regulations, yeah. So tons and tons and tons of fish get dumped at sea. Thousands of tons of fish.
That's another thing. Graham, that is something I so want to talk to you about. Because something that really, in these, maybe next Friday, we can try and remember this, both of us. Something that really gets my goat is what's happened to the fishermen in this country. I mean, our shared nations.
Yeah.
It really hurts me. I mean, I've got people, by the way, I've got people from Scotland too, yeah? And I've got people from Ireland. My surname is Irish. And I've got people from England. So I've got people from all over this place. Excuse me. excuse me. Excuse me. In England, half of my people were fishermen in Grimsby. And what's happened to them? I mean, you know the story. You may know the story. I imagine you probably do. The EU basically, they did this carve up with the UK or whatever. They did this carve up over the fishing rights, decimated it, and then they said, "We'll give you a few grand. We'll give you a few grand, but you've got to burn your boat. You have to take your boat, beach it in Grimsby. You need to take it up the beach there, and then burn it. And if you do that, we'll give you, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was 10 grand or something. Maybe it was 20 grand. I don't know. But basically, they decimated. They literally torched their culture.
That's right.
And that's exactly what happened in Scotland as well, no? And that's what's happened with steel on the Clyde as well, no?
Yeah. They were offering them slightly more than the boat's value.
Were they? Were they?
Yes.
Yeah. Terrible.
Despicable.
That's something I would really appreciate that we covered. It's actually it's actually really quite emotional sort of side of it, yeah. But it's, yeah.
Yes, I know. And it's affecting it's a much bigger problem than people first assume. Because there's thousands of tons of dead fish getting dropped into the ocean. So what happens to them? Okay, well, they end up on the seabed. And on the seabed, you've got all your prawns and shrimps and everything. So, and your starfish and all that kind of, your bottom feeders, catfish and everything. And they are eating dead and diseased, well, obviously dead, but diseased fish, basically. Because normally, there's not huge blankets of dead fish. If a fish dies, and obviously they do, it'd probably get eaten before it would even reach the... it would probably get eaten on the way down before it even reached the seabed. But because they are dumping, huge boatloads of dead fish into the water, and remember, they're always dead, they're not alive. If they're pulled up in the nets and processed on board, they're dead.
Yeah.
So you've got these huge volumes of dead fish ending up on the seabed, and it's affecting the ecosystem of the shellfish and the bottom feeders.
Blimey.
Adversely.
Graham, I can't understand that though at this time of night. I mean, that is complex. That is complex.
It is quite complex, yeah.
Look,
it's just a sheer volume of decaying fish. Covering everything, it's a
so
blanket.
We're going to talk about this, yeah? We're going to talk about this a bit next week. We'll
sure.
Basically, I think we should basically leave off on these Friday night things. I think we should leave off and then start off, rather, where we leave off and do that. Yes. And everybody else can catch up, and they will.
Yes.
Do that.
That sounds cool, yeah. But we need to wind it up tonight, eh?
Yeah, we do.
This has been like a sponsored radio show, isn't it?
I know. This is like, that thing.
It's like a marathon. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to close this. Graham.
I burnt 375 calories.
I don't know what I've burnt under here.
Graham, I've got one of these.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we did the end earlier, if you remember, about an hour and a half ago. We did the end already. So we don't need to do anything formal. That's done.
No, we don't, no.
Yeah.
So we'll just resume next Friday.
Yeah. I'm going to close the video. I'm going to close it now and say good night. Graham, say good night.
Okay, good night, folks. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we will be back next week, and we will be more focused. So, yeah.
Good night and God bless.
He's very